Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today we will have a lecture on cost estimations. So, in previous lectures, we have seen that is engineering mechanics. Again, there will be a lecture on cost estimations because this lecture is very, very important because nowadays estimation plays an important role in day-to-day life. Estimation plays an important role because we have to find out the quantities required, and in any structures we have to find out the quantity required to execute a particular type of work, how much will be the quantity required to execute the work, and what should be the rates required for executing the particular type of work. So different methods are there in order to find out the that is the cost of any structures. The different methods are there, so with the help of that methods we will find out, or we will have some basics regarding how to find out the cost of any structures. You can कोई भी cost of any structures to be find out by the different methods. Okay, so again, the basics things related with the cost estimations will be taken care, which is very, very important. There is exam point of view also, and there is nothing but the it has been used for various purposes. This estimation, it has been used for various purposes in field also, or in practical point of view it has been used, or in exam point of view it is also used. Okay, so we'll see the first of all the definitions of what is estimation. Estimation is nothing but estimating is the technique of calculating, that is computing the various quantities and expected expenditures to be incurred on a particular work or a project. That means in this technique or in this estimations we can find out the various quantities required in a project. Okay, na? The various quantities are required. What are the different quantities which has been used or it has been required for the construction work. Okay, so first we have to find out the quantities required, and depending upon the quantities we have to find out the rates of that particular item of works. Okay, na? So first in the initial stage we will find out the quantities, and the later stage we will find out, and we will find out the rates for the particular type of item of work. Okay, na? So in this way, estimation is the technique of calculating or computing the various quantities and the expected expenditures to be incurred on a particular work or a project. Okay? So in case the funds are available are less than the estimation cost, the work is done in a part or by reducing it, or specifications are altered. That means if the cost available with for that is less, and we have to complete a particular type of structures in the stipulated time, or the that is the particular that is amount is available with us is less at the time. At the time we can have the alterations in the specifications. Alterations can be changed, estimations, or the there is a construction work can be carried out in stages. ठीक है ना? Stages, it can be carried out in the stages also. Next is estimation is the technique of calculating or computing the various quantities and the expected expenditures to be incurred on a particular work or a project. ठीक है ना? Once again, it is nothing but it is the art of calculating or computing the various quantities and the expected expenditures. ठीक है? What is the total cost required for a particular type of execution. ठीक है ना? So in this way, we can find out the total cost also. ठीक है ना? Total cost can also be find out in this case with the help of the estimations. Okay, the main purpose is nothing but to find out the total cost of any structures. Okay, what are the requirements for these estimations? The following requirements are necessary for preparing an estimations. Number one is the most important is the drawings and plans. Okay, so we have to that is it has been prepared with the help of the drawings and plans, because depending upon the drawings, depending upon the sections, depending upon the elevations, we can find out the various items which has been required in a particular project. ठीक है ना? So drawings and plans plays an important role. Elevations and sections of important points will be required for preparing an estimation. Okay. And number two thing which has been required in an estimation is nothing but the detailed specifications. Number two is nothing but the detailed specifications, because specifications is nothing but a description of a particular item of work. Okay, it has been described that particular, the suppose the example is for there is RCC work, it has been carried out. So what is the mix that is whether it is M20, M25, M30, M45. So what should be the ratios of cement, sand, and aggregates? So this all what will be the workmanship related activities, or what should be the manpowers related activities. So this will be specified in a specific descriptions which has been called as the specifications. So detailed specifications about workmanships and properties of materials, etc., will be carried. It is very necessary in order to prepare and estimate estimations. Okay. Number third is the standard schedule of rates. That is SCR, standard schedule of rates, which has been available with the government firms also, in the private firms also. So this standard, with the help of the standard rates, we can find out the cost of any item of work. Okay. So standard rates are must in calculating any there is nothing but the item of works. Okay. Why estimation, or why cost, that is the analysis it has to be carried out, or estimation and costing it is to be carried out. So why it is to necessary in order to study, or why it is important to find out the cost of any structures. So why it has been needed to why is, what is the need for the estimations. The estimate gives an idea of the cost of the work, and hence its feasibility can be determined. That means with the help of this we can find out the cost. The cost can be find out of the work, and its feasibility, whether it is feasible to execute the particular type of work. So feasibility can be determined with the help of this estimations. It can be determined whether the project could be taken up within the funds available or not. That means whether this that is the that amount is sufficient to execute the particular type of work, or it is insufficient to execute a particular type of work. So this can be given in a broad way by the estimations taken, whether it is feasible to execute the work, or whether it is not feasible to execute the particular type of work. Okay. Number two is nothing but estimate gives an ideas of time required. Yes, most important is nowadays time. Time is precious because we have to complete a particular type of project within the stipulated, within the prescribed time. Okay? So times is also important while finding out any that is the cost of any structures. Okay? So estimate gives an idea of time required for completions of the work. Estimate is required to invite the tenders. Nowadays in government bodies or in government or private sectors, the work it has been carried out with the help of the tenders. Okay? By various agencies, or by the various contractors, or by the various vendors, it has been they are invited to quote a particular rate against the particular type of work. ठीक है ना? तो इसलिए क्या है, estimation is required to invite the tenders and quotations, and to arrange the contractor for executing a particular type of work. Okay. Number fourth point is nothing but estimate is also required to control the expenditure during the execution of work. That means finally we are preparing the total amount required for a particular type of work. Okay? So that means at some stage this estimation is also required to control the expenditures during the execution of work. Okay? Next is estimate decides whether the proposed plan matches the funds available or not. That means the funds are sufficient or not can be find out with the help of this estimations. Okay, whether the funds available with us it is in a proper manner, the funds available is sufficient or not. Whether more funds are required or extra funds are required. So this can be find out with the help of the estimations. Okay. सबसे ऊपर में लेफ्ट में गए, ये नहीं उधर इधर लेफ्ट में, हाँ वहीं पे एक फोल्डर वो है ये है पेजेस जिसमें रखते हैं ना अपन, ग्रीन कलर का एनवलप है, एनवलप थोड़ा खड़े रह के देखना पड़ेगा बीच में फाइल्स के. Okay. Next is nothing but how to find out the procedure for estimations, how it can be calculated, what is the procedure for estimations. So estimates involves in the following operations. That means in what manner we can find out the cost of any structures. Okay? So what is the procedure for that? So procedure is again very important. The we have to find out the cost of any structures by the particular procedures it is to be followed. The number one is nothing but the preparing detailed estimate. Number two is nothing but the calculating the rates of each unit of work, and number three is nothing but preparing abstract of an estimate. Okay. So detailed estimate will be in next slides. We will see what is detailed estimate, which things to be covered in detailed estimate, what are the things to be covered in a detailed estimate, why it is necessary, what is the purpose of detailed estimate. So it next for the slides we will study in short what is detailed estimate, the detailed procedure in order to calculate the cost of any structure. That means in a detailed way we will find out by the different methods what is the cost of a particular structure. Okay, the detailed estimate. Next is calculating the rate of each unit of work. That means we will find out the each unit rate of each unit of work. That means suppose the PCC is there, suppose the earthwork in excavations is there, or DPC is there, or any other that is activity which is to be carried out, and any other that is the work to be carried out. So we will find out the unit rate. That means what is the cost of PCC per meter cube? What is the cost of DPC per square meters? Or what is the cost of earthwork in excavations per meter cube? Okay? So this rate of each item can be calculated with the help of this estimations. Okay? Again, number third is nothing but preparing an abstract of estimate. We have to first find out, or we have to first prepare the abstract sheet in which the rates are with the help of the rates we will find out the total cost of any structures. Okay. Next is important is what are the different data required for estimations. What are the different things required for estimations. Okay. So data required to prepare an estimate. So what are the different things required, on what basis we will calculate or we will find out the cost of any structures. The number one is on the basis of drawing. Okay. That means plan, elevation and sections. On the basis of specifications we can find out the cost of any structures. Number three is on the basis of rates, we can find out the cost of any structures. So these are the data which has been required for calculating the cost of any structures. Okay? So any structures, cost of any structures can be calculated by this with the help of this data. Okay? When the data is available with us, with the help of this, we can easily find out the total cost of any structures. Okay? The total cost of any structures can be find out with the help of this three things. That is, the drawings are required, specifications are required, and the rates for a particular item of work will be required for a particular that is activities. Okay. Next, again, drawings are not clear with without complete dimensions. The preparations of estimations becomes very difficult. That means the various things it is to be available with the drawings should be clear. The dimensions in the drawings should be clear, so that on the basis of which we can easily prepare an estimate. Okay? If it is not prepared, the dimensions are not in a proper way, so it is very difficult to prepare an estimations. Okay? So it is very essential before preparing an estimate that the proper dimensions should be there, plan sections and elevations should be in a proper way, so that on the basis of which we can find out or we can have an estimation of a particular type of structures. Okay. Number two is nothing but the specifications, as it has been stated that with the help of the specifications we can easily find out that is nothing but the cost of any structures. So specifications plays an important role. So there are two types of specifications. Number one is the general specifications. Number two is the detailed specifications. Okay? So specifications again is a very important part related with the estimations. Okay? Because with the help of estimations, with the help of the specifications, we can easily find out or we can find out the cost of any structures. Okay? So the specifications plays an important role. Number one is nothing but the general specifications. This gives the nature, quality, class, work, and materials in general terms to be used in various parts of work. It helps know form a general ideas of a building. That means we can find out the nature of work with the help of qualities. With the help of this quality checks, we can find out the particular type of work. That means nature क्या रहेगा उससे nature of work. That means whether it is PCC work, whether it is DPC work, whether it is the earthwork and excavations work, what is the nature of work? how, what is the quality to be maintained, ठीक है ना? The quality plays an important role. It has been specified in the general specifications class. Suppose the brickwork is first class brickwork, second class brickwork, so a class of particular type of work, and work and materials in general terms to be used in the various parts of work. Next is detailed estimate. What is detailed estimate? Detailed estimate क्या रहेगा? Detailed estimate is nothing but this gives a detailed description of the various item of work, laying down the quantities and qualities of material. That means in a detailed way, which things are required for executions for carrying out a particular type of work. ठीक है? In a detailed way. That means how, what will be the quantities required. In short, what will be the quantities required and what are the qualities of a particular type of material. That means we have to find out the quantity, we have to maintain the quantity as well as the qualities of a material. That means quality in the sense various quality checks to be carried out. Suppose there is a fine aggregate is there, so there will be a check for fine aggregate, that is the bulking of sand, fineness of sand, and strength related factors also will be taken care for the fine aggregates. Same way for the coarse aggregate cement, initial checks to be carried out in order to find out whether the cement is permissible, it is whether it is permissible to use the cement, whether the grade of cement is it is in a proper way or not. So all these quality checks to be it has been carried out, taken. Their proportions, the method of preparing, again the proportions is also very very important. How much in what will be the proportions for particular type of work. Whether it is proportion in the sense the ratios, 1 is to 2 is to 4, 1 is to 3 is to 6, 148. That is the example for RCC. The work is done in a part or by reducing it or and suppose there is RCC work in the slab. So what will be the ratio? What will be the grade of concrete in the slabs? What is the grade of the concrete in the foundations, or grade of the concrete in the columns? Okay. So all these proportions to be also taken care in the specifications. Okay. Next is method of preparing workmanships, whether it is machine mix or whether it is hand mixing will be done, or machine mixing will be done. So this will again be important related with the that is the estimations. Okay? So an execution of work, how it will be executed. Next is rates. Rates में क्या था? What are the rates for preparing the estimate? The unit rate of each item of work are required. That means the rate of a particular item of work, it has been required. Rates in the sense, what is the market rate of steel? What is the market rate of fine aggregate? What is the market rate of coarse aggregate? What is the market rate of various waterproofing agents? है ना? So this market rates, it is to be find out first. For preparing the estimate, the unit rate of each item of work are required. Okay. We have to find out the rate of per bag of cement for different brand names. Take an Ultratech or ACC, sorry ACC, or the different brand names. So first we have to find out the rates of the different that is the cement bags, or what is the rate of per meter cube of fine aggregate, what is the rate of per meter cube of coarse aggregate. Okay. So these rates to be find out at first. Number two is for arriving at the unit rates of each items. That means finalizing the rate of each unit rate of each items. Number third is the rates of various materials to be used in the constructions. Again, the various materials such as fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, we have to find out the rates, market rates of the various materials. The cost of transportation, transport materials. That means if the materials it has been transported from other cities, from outskirts, or from other. So what is the lead? In the technical word used is lead, LEAD. What is lead? Lead is the horizontal distance traveled beyond 8 kilometers. If it is traveling, if the material it has been taken from other cities, which is other nearby outskirts, which is more than 8 kilometers, that means extra amount will be paid for transportations, for transporting a particular type of material. Okay, na? The extra amount will be required. The cost of transport materials. Last point is nothing but the wages of laborers, skilled or unskilled, of masons, that is masons, carpenters, mazdoor, etc. So for we have to find out the local rates of a labor. What is the labor rates nowadays in a local city? What is the rate of skilled or unskilled masons? what is the rate of a carpenter, what is the rate of a mazdoor, or what are the different rates of the blacksmith, ठीक है ना? Or tile layer, who is laying the tiles, ठीक है, tile layer. So these rates to be find out first. Next is complete estimate. What are the different things covered in the complete estimate? Number one is cost of line. Number two is contingencies. Number three is legal expenses between owners and contractors. Number four is cost of structures. So these are the four. That is the main. That is pillars of the estimations. We have to purchase the land. Then contingencies. It has been taken as 5%. Legal expenses for documentary work. We will require some amount, and finally the amount required to construct a building, that is the cost of structures. Okay. Again, cost of line will includes actual cost of line, cost of surveying, cost of verification of deeds and the executions of deeds, and uh, brokerage, if any, if there is any brokerage or if there is any intermediators from which we are purchasing the land. Again, the some amount will be paid to this. Surveying, we have to measure the land, whether it has been in a proper dimensions or not. Surveying, the cost of surveying will be there. Again, what is the cost of constructions includes? The cost of material will be required, cost of labor will be required, permit fees for construction, water, electricities from the concerned authorities. Though we will require waters, we will require there is the electricity will be required. So all these expenses will be taken care under the head as cost of structures. Again, the cost of structures will include cost of materials, cost of labors, and the cost required for maintaining the electricities and the water requirements, because water is must for any construction work. ठीक है ना? Any construction work cannot be carried out without water. ठीक है ना? The water is in some areas where there is a scarcity of water. So there is we have to arrange the water with some extra expenses will be required. So here extra ahead is it has been given as for electricity and water. Next is consulting engineers fees. Again, cost for preparing plan, estimations, and design. Again, a fees will be given to the engineers who is preparing a plan for estimations and designing work, and the man or the person who is executing, that is the supervisor or the engineers who executes the work. Again, the payment will be given. The cost of a supervisor. Okay? So in a broad way or in a systematic way, while executing any work, these are the things to be taken care. These are the things to be pointed for executing any type of work. Next, what is lump sum? Lump sum is while preparing an estimate, it is not possible to work out in details in case of PT items. That means in some minor items will also be there. So every time we cannot have a detailed estimate. Some items or some particular type of work, it is to be taken. Some PT works to be taken in lump sum amount. That is, in by the experience we can directly implement the particular type of amount. Okay? The items other than civil engineering, such items are called as the lump sum items or simply LS item. That is the lump sum. That means we cannot estimate a particular amount. It is the amount is fixed and it is beyond the civil engineering, that is calculations. At that time, this under the head as lump sum items, we can include that particular amount. Okay. Next is the following are the some of the LS items. One of the following are the some of the that is the lump sum items in the estimate. Number one is the water supply and sanitary arrangements. We have to arrange some amount for pipelines, for water supply lines, and for sanitary arrangements. Number two is electrical installations like meters, motors, etc. We have to install electricity because nowadays electricity is a must for any that is any site. So electrical installations like meter motors also required. Number three is architectural features. Number four is contingencies and unforeseen items. That is what is contingencies. Contingencies is unforeseen expenses. Okay. While executing any work, unforeseen expenses it is also to be taken care. Okay, na? So again, a separate amount to be kept for unforeseen expenses. Okay. So in general, a certain percentage on the cost of estimations is allotted for the above lump sum items. Next is what is water charge establishments. Again, water charge establishment is again amount to be fixed or amount to be kept aside for a work charge establishment. What is work charge establishment? During the construction of a project, considerable numbers of skilled supervisors, work assistants, watchmen, etc. are employed on a temporary basis. That means we have to pay some temporary. That is, we have to say pay some amount on a temporary basis. That is for supervising for 24 hours. Supervisors will be there for site work. Work assistants will be there. Watchmen will be there. So we have to pay some amount on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. So this is it has been taken care under the work charge establishment. Next is nothing but the salaries of these persons are drawn from the lump sum amount allotted towards the work charge establishment. Again, this is again taken from the that is the lump sum amount. Sorry, the salaries of these persons are drawn from the lump sum amount allotted towards the work charge establishment. This is estimated, which is that is charged directly to work, and lump sum amount of 1/2 to 2% of the estimated cost is provided towards the work charge establishment. How much amount it has been taken care by this work charge establishment? Taken a work charge establishment, so about 1.5% to 2% it has been kept aside for a work charge establishment out of the total estimated cost. 1/2 to 2% it is approximately it has been taken care by the work charge establishment. Next is the measurement of work and materials and work. How we can measure the different materials required, or how we can measure the work which has been carried out. ठीक है ना? So what are the different things considered while measuring the materials and the works which has been carried out on site? ठीक है? So again, there is a provision on IS 1200 that is revised. There is a provision given in Indian Standard Code that is related with estimations. So while preparing an estimations of a particular structures, again IS 1200 gives some ideas